So, what?
No, it's just like we were both like that, but I was like that.
I was like that.
Period. Hello, storytellers. Welcome to Seek and Speak. Here we discover the extraordinary and ordinary truths within all walks of life through one story at a time. I'm Biyeni, the host, and I work to inspire connection, creativity, and reveal how the heart of every story is human. Today, I interviewed a good friend of mine, and I can't wait to introduce her to you. Let's meet her. Hi, Faith.
Hello.
This is crazy. Welcome to Seek and Speak.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here. What? This is insane. Like, me and Faith, we also go long time back, We've been best friends since literally 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
6th, 7th grade.
6th, 7th grade.
It started in theater.
Never looked back.
Never looked back. You're stuck with me. We're locked in.
It is quite the opposite.
I'm super excited to have you here on Seek and Speak.
Thank you.
I know you really well, but the people watching don't. So why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Faith. I'm 22. I just graduated from Fairfield University in May. I studied biology there, and so now I'm working in R&D spaces in the corporate industry sphere.
Fancy schmancy.
I love it. I love it. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to have a job in these times.
Wow. Thank you for sharing a little bit about yourself.
Thank you.
But you know what we're here for? Seek and Speak. We're here to hear a story. Doesn't have to be extraordinary or ordinary. Literally anything that you haven't shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to hear what you have to share. So yeah, Faith, what's your story?
Okay.
Oh, she's getting serious. It's getting serious.
So, there isn't many a story that you've not heard ever, but during our first semesters away at college, I feel like obviously naturally it was harder to be as in constant communication. So it was like briefer text updates. So I was trying to comb through that time. So I was like, what doesn't she know?
Very little.
Precisely.
We'll see.
We were both adjusting. I was in Connecticut and she was in LA. The worst 4 years. No. So we were kind of doing our things and like very ominous snap text updates throughout that time, and it was just so blurry and scary. Right? I remember I'd be in the library like snap texting you paragraphs about what was going on.
That was a crazy. And I had my private still going.
Oh my god!
At that time,
she doesn't use Snapchat.
I don't use it anymore. What can I say?
To contextualize, we were crazy children in regards to school. Like, we were book school girls, middle school, high school. Like,
yeah.
I wish I could articulate like the beast mode, like 7th graders we were. Like, I remember being up in my dining room in my childhood home till like 1, 2 in the morning. 6th grade, 7th grade tops, doing like religion homework. And I wasn't going to bed until it was done.
That's so real.
Like, we were those individuals at 11, 12. Wow. But that carried high school. Same thing. We were both like that. But I was like that. Freshman year of college, up to that point, I'd been a just academic, not even weapon, like beyond weapon. And I knew going into college, based on my field of study, because I studied biology, that was never necessarily my strongest area, science or math.
Ditto.
we were humanities girlies. Like we were philosophical.
History, English, like we were eating
Spanish.
Eating
Spanish. I knew things were going to be rough. There was nothing that could have. There was nothing. Nothing could have prepared me for the like mental strife I would proceed to go through in regards to my academic shortcomings.
You learn a lot in college.
Years.
Yep.
The particular story I'm going to tell is regarding a time, probably late November, early December of my freshman year of college. And to this point, ending the first semester, I was in like all my gen bio sequences of classes. I was taking psych, I was taking gen bio, I was in calculus.
Scary.
Oh, not good at all. For me, it was lovely to learn, but in terms of performance, I had just been like not quite bombing, but like every single exam I was studying. Like it wasn't like I was like doing the whole, like I was doing the college thing, but like no more than anyone else was. Like I would study, I was locked. It wouldn't stick. I could not perform on an exam. And I'd never experienced this. And I realized, like, retrospectively at this point, like, middle school, high school, academic validation meant way more to me and gave me such a security blanket. I felt much smarter than I think.
No, but like you were,
You know,
like, yeah.
Thank you. But like going from COVID high school to real scary big college, not for the week. Not for the week. And so I remember it was like we had 4 exams for the semester before the final for my gen bio, like the first sequence of like 3. And I was locked in for this 4th one. Like it was one of those like I'd done well enough, but I would be on the cusp of like a B from a C.
Oh, so hate those moments.
Precisely, because I'd be thrilled with a B at that point. I was going to like 2 towns over to the city library and just like locking in day to night in between classes, the little breaks we would get, like because I think around that time there's like days off. Like I was locked. Exam, I was like, I feel good about this. I had not felt good about anything academic in a long time.
Oh no, where does this go?
So I'm like, bag, not bag at all. Like,
no,
my poor like 18, 19-year-old self. Like I remember like, because like, you know, when you're like, I got it, and I never feel that way about anything. There's never anything I'm ever confident about in that regard. So I was like, well, yes, no, bad. I think I blocked out the numerics, but it was worse than we could have anticipated.
Wow.
And like tanked me. It's more so the certainty, like the rarity of that certainty, and then it's just like snatched up and you feel humiliated. So I remember, because I told all my roommates, I was like, this one was it. This one was it. We so back. Like
that's
like,
when I learned to like shut up about
I learned
saying anything about school
that day. That day everyone was like crashed out so bad. Not even in a like, oh my god, I'm failing, like da da da, like that sort of thing. No, it was like my whole life is a lie. Because like as a child, I didn't, and this all hit me like a ton of bricks in that time. Like when you build an identity upon being, you know, or reliant on things that are external validation in that regard, so like academics is fine when you're 11, 13, you could do that. Not everyone has the like, college was just difficult for me. Like I'm not saying I'm not smart, just difficult for me.
I feel like well, I feel like there's always moments where people fail something, but you actually haven't told me about this specific moment, that specific exam.
It was like gag.
But like That is so real. That first moment where you realize, oh damn, like I used to be the smart kid, but right now I feel like I'm bottom of the pit.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not one of the smart kids anymore.
It's like humbling isn't even, it doesn't even do it justice. It's just like humiliation.
Yes. No, it's so
Yeah. And
true.
it's such a, because then it's like, well, then if I'm not top of my class, then what am I?
I'm not smart. What am I? Especially
Yes.
as a woman, I feel like
What am
it's
I?
kind of, especially in, at least when we went to school together, that was middle school, okay? So that was a minute ago. But like advanced class, straight A's, like we would get that report card and be like,
Oh,
oh,
we were
what'd you get? And we're
locked. We
like,
were locked.
oh, straight A's. And we're like, oh, yeah,
Light work.
duh.
Light
Like, what
work.
else? What else?
Light work.
Sound pretentious right
Like,
now.
oh, incredibly. But I could say it from the depths of where I am now. Like, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm humble enough to admit that did not carry.
Mm-hmm. That transition when you realize that, oh, you are no longer the smart person in that room anymore.
Mm.
Like, how did it like
Okay.
shape who you were afterwards? Like, you felt humiliated. How are you able? Like, how did you view yourself afterwards?
Yeah. I just remember feeling like I did not know anything about myself at that point. I think I'd occupied so much of my like adolescence with this identity formed around being this like perfect student and just kind of like straight and narrow kid. Like I was just like, that is what gave me joy, is to, be that. And I didn't really look into anything about myself or develop anything about myself or any of the things that kind of didn't suit that shape until the point in which I realized it was kind of an unreliable facet to build like a personality upon.
Yeah.
Like I realized there wasn't as much to myself as I thought at that point. And it was kind of retrospectively I see that time as where I kind of failed and was like, this is no longer something that I can use as a crutch to make myself like myself. You know what I mean? Like I really need to look into the things about myself that I
Right.
am without kind of shaping it that I'd been doing unconsciously my whole life.
I feel like there's that whole aspect of like, okay, you're growing up. You spend literally from the age of like 4 until like 17. Like your goal is, I need to get into college. And everyone tells you, you need to get into a good college if you want your life to set up in a specific way. There's specific things that you have to do to get what you want. And that's how they teach children. It very black and white. I understand why. But when you're basing yourself off of, oh, I need to be a good student if I want a good life, it's not realistic.
It's not
realistic. And also,
it's an unfair metric.
Like the things you're learning when you're younger, like the quality of the things that you're learning, it's kind of dispersed across all these different like things. So it's like, it's not measured on one like section of education like biology.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so like it might have been easier to get better grades overall in high school because you're learning like very general things about every specific subject. But you're in college, you're on one subject and you're delving deep into that subject, and you don't even realize that like just because I was good at like the basics doesn't mean that like I will be good at every single aspect of this specific thing. But that's how I felt. I was like, oh my God, like I did so well in my algebra class. I'm so good at math. Went to college, absolute trash.
That is like, we had a similar kind of crash out about algebra and calculus.
Calculus? Oh, don't even get me started. I'm curious, let's say hypothetically in the future, if you want kids, is that going to change the way that you make them grow up? Like, what are you going to, you know what I mean?
Totally.
It's an interesting question, but
I mean, it's an interesting thing. I think it's worth mentioning, like the way I grew up and the way my parents raised me, there was never any kind, obviously there was like encouragement to do well and do your best and like strive high, and they nurtured my whatever intelligence I showed as like a kid. But like there was never any kind of like severe pressure to be this kind of thing. That was like a pressure I put on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think as a parent, and they always, acknowledge you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Don't do that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I was so hard on myself as a kid, and I do want children someday, it's like, I think I would be vigilant about the way they kind of look at themselves and the way they react to their own failures,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
try to be as cognizant about it from the youngest age they show those kinds of things, to try to prevent them from growing up with those kinds of strains on themselves,
Yeah.
because there's going to come a point where you can't meet those, like, just
Right.
naturally.
You're not always going to be the kid. I mean, I know some of those kids now or in college who were consistently getting straight A's, but also like you're expected to like choose a career path or some sort of education
Mm-hmm.
at the age of like 17,
17, 18,
18,
it's
not
unbelievable.
really even understanding yourself. So like how are you going to equate a specific grade to the type of impact that you can actually have in the world? It's like
Right.
subsidized. Whoa, wrong. Standardized
Mm-hmm.
testing. Clearly, my education will help me with
Stop it.
vocabulary.
Not true.
But standardized testing, right? Like they got rid of that, and it helped a lot of people who are like, oh damn, I wouldn't have gotten into the school if I had that because my grades would not have matched the expectations of the school. But they got into the school, and the actual impact that they have now is significant. Understanding where your life is at now, working, like you're kind of doing exactly what you wanted to do. Like, what would you say to your past self?
Ooh, I think in that time, I just remember being so down on myself and feeling so lost and just so, um, I don't know, just disconnected from like this sense of self I thought I had, that, I did have, but it was rooted in different things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would just say to do what I ended up doing. Thankfully, I had a lot of guidance um, during that time from school and outside of school, resources to kind of like, well, what are my strengths then? Because clearly I'm not a great test taker. Ooh.
Felt.
Ooh.
Felt.
But I knew I wasn't, incompetent or something. I wasn't going to let it stop me from doing what I wanted to do and accomplishing XYZ. So I ended up really strengthening my skills in lab. So my work experience, um, both in kind of academic settings, doing sciencey stuff, and then even working outside of that realm, working customer service jobs. I think that's where I kind of figured out where my niche was. My skills were outside of the classroom. And I was able to kind of hone in on those and get more confident in that sort of thing. And I think honestly, that's what ended up getting me where I needed to go, was kind of giving up that whole, I need to be perfect in school and da da da. Obviously, I tried. I always tried to put my best foot forward, and I had some great semesters and some not so great semesters. My transcript was alphabet soup.
Alphabets.
But,
Yeah.
it wasn't always just cruising along. And, but something that always stayed kind of like certain was working. I worked in a restaurant. Hello. And then I like throughout school, and then I had a couple different jobs on campus working in the labs, usually prepping. And the skills I built, my soft skills and my actual technical laboratory skills, ended up kind of building me a resume that was well suited for what I do now. I work in like the R&D sphere, and yeah, everything happens for a reason. If I were able to go back and tell myself at that time, first semester freshman year, I, be like, give it up, give it up.
That's
No,
so beautiful, though.
it's very special.
I was like looking into, because I feel very much the same way where there's just too much people are just seeking this validation. The only reason why they care about numbers and GPA is because then it's some point of a comparison. It's not a proper comparison for like
No.
who you are and the type of impact that you can have, but it is a comparison. But I saw something recently and it was like Viola Davis. She's like, your purpose is not what you do, but it's what happens when you do what you do. Well, thank you so much, Faith, for being on Seek and Speak.
Thank you so much for having
I'm
me. This
so
was so
grateful.
fun.
And
No.
everything that you shared, so relatable. It was the first
Thank
time I
you.
heard this story. So thank you for finding this.
No, thank you for having me. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
You will go very far.
Oh, stop. Stop. But yeah, guys, this was this episode of Seek and Speak. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Come back for more. And yeah, just know the heart of every story is human. So what's yours?